Good afternoon, all. Wendell Daniel from StreetMic coming to you live and direct from Edmonton Green, which is in North London. And anyone who know Edmonton Green, or let me zoom, there is Edmonton Green station. So that is Edmonton Green London Overground station. And the reason I'm here is that I was actually out shopping half an hour ago, and then I can smell burning, and in no time 10 fire engines turned up to the green. And as we can see, there is a lot of activity taking place down here, and what I've been told is that there was a fire in the building above the fire officers who are directly in front of this camera. And when I arrived, there was at least 10 fire appliances in attendance. So I'm now gonna take a slow walk around the location and see and hear exactly what is taking place. But we are in 4th Street, Edmonton, adjacent to Edmonton Green Shopping Centre. And those of you who know this location, only a few feet away we've got Edmonton Police Station. So we are in the heart of Edmonton as a major event unfolds.
That's it, yeah.
Strangely enough.
You're going to be phoning up.
No. You should be down outside the window. Too many people died in Grenfell. Don't tell him. No. Too many people died in Grenfell fire. No, it's not past. Too many people died in Grenfell fire. They're not to learn the lesson. This was a real fire. Now,
So we are currently in Edmonton Green, and in front of me we've got a fire brigade command unit, and I'm actually trying to find out. Can I ask you a few questions? If you get in front of the camera. So if you stay there, if you look into the camera. My name is Wendell Daniel from StreetMic. I actually live local. I was actually in Edmonton Green shopping. What's going on? Describe to those watching. What have you seen or heard?
So far, forgive me. I've only just come past, so I've just tried to ask people. People have so far told me that there was a fire, but it sounds like the fire brigade have successfully got it under control. But families said they've been here for over an hour. It doesn't seem that clear when they're going back in, but it seems like it's under control. I mean, I've tried to speak to the fire brigade here, but I've tried to raise a point with them. I've said at the speed at which Grenfell fire took place, would you have been prepared if the scenario had been different to evacuate all these people on time? If the means of escape got blocked, or if you ended up with a stampede, how else would people have been able to escape? I said, do you have the inflatables? If there's a lot of lessons to be learned from Grenfell. When Grenfell fire took place, people had to jump through the window and landed on the concrete. Why have we not learned, and under these circumstances where you can have a full drill, even though they successfully put a fire, but there should be good practices in place to deal with a real fire. Now, these inflatables in China can cost up to like £500 for people to jump from high rises. In this situation whereby they couldn't evacuate everybody on time, do they have those inflatables in place for people to jump from the windows rather than like Grenfell jump to concrete?
Can I ask you a question? What gives you the impression that what you're describing as the inflatables are not in the possession of the London Fire Brigade? What makes you think it's not?
Because I did an inquiry when I first came to this area, because I was concerned about those high-rise over there. And from what I understood, they had people committing suicide on a regular basis.
Let's talk about what's going on now. What gives you the impression today they have not got those, what you're describing, in the possession of the London Fire Brigade?
Because I'm looking at the practices in place. I'm looking already. Even now, a fire can relight. They may have put, if anything's to be learned from Grenfell fire, is that the fire brigade came in the first instance. They put out the fire. In 15 minutes later, that fire relit. That fire relit and took over 87 people plus lives. In a situation here, the fire brigade could put the fire out, they could leave the scene, and that fire could relight. In the space of it relighting and the fire brigade having to come back, you could have another evacuation crisis. In an evacuation crisis, you need to have the right equipment, the right procedures. I'm talking about procedure here. I'm saying I cannot see from this procedure here that they are fully implementing the lessons learned from Grenfell Tower. Fire buildings are only built for 60 minutes. You have 60 minutes from the time to evacuate means of escape. The fire doors are 30 minutes if they're not done properly. Otherwise, you're stuck to 60 minutes to escape. From the time the smoke kills, quicker than fire. You have 60 minutes to evacuate. I asked the question, can the fire brigade evacuate in 60 minutes? If any obstruction to an evacuation in 60 minutes from the start of the fire, from the time smoke starts to penetrate the building, can they evacuate in those 60 minutes? I'm sorry, from what I can even see now, I would doubt it very much. If they can't answer the question whether they have those inflatables in place, I've already inquired before.
Would you agree the London Fire Brigade are under no obligation to answer the specific question you asked?
They're not under an obligation.
And do you know what I mean by an obligation?
I can't really answer that. I can't really answer that. All I know is they're under a duty to be competent to protect life. They know that these buildings have only got 60-minute means of escape. You've got disabled. How do you get the disabled out in 60 minutes? How do you get the elderly, people in prams out in 60 minutes? That is the question. That is the procedures you must have in place, because smoke will kill under 60 minutes. If you have cyanide and other chemicals that might be mixed up through the burning of plastic, that 60-minute window to evacuate safely gets shortened. By the time someone calls a 911...
All I can say, Mum, is thank you very much for giving me your opinions. I'm going to interview many more people, but thank you very much for your insight. So as we can hear, we've got people down here, they have concerns, but I can't answer those questions. I've just arrived, and from what I can see, the London Fire Brigade are currently, it looks like they're beginning to pack up their equipment, so which gives me the impression that yes, down here, what did occur has been extinguished. Because when I was originally down here an hour ago, like I said, I was out here shopping. I was getting some chicken, some fish, and some goat meat. You know, I was going to be doing some cooking today. And I saw this and I thought, wow, I ain't got my camera. So what I did, I jumped in a mini cab, got home, and then I came down here with my camera to record what's going on. But let's interview a few people down here to try and establish if they lived in the flats and what has actually taken place. So this is Edmonton Green, and here are the flats that there was definitely a fire earlier on, because even when I got a cab home to get my equipment to come back, the mini cab operator said to StreetMic that he received a call from someone in Sweden who had said their flat is alight. So here's the command unit. It seems like that might be leaving the scene in a few moments. So the command unit, so that's the London Fire Brigade command unit, is now, it looks like it's moving, or it's going to be leaving the scene here at Edmonton Green. And just in front of me, we've got some fire officers who were part of, I believe, a rescue that might or might not have taken place. So I'm now going to interview someone who is one of the evacuees. If you stand in front of the camera, don't be scared of me. My name is Wendell Daniel from StreetMic. If I can get the fire brigade van in the background, if you move around a bit, if you move a bit more, thank you very much. So, good afternoon. My name is Wendell Daniel from StreetMic. What is your name?
Leanne.
So, Leanne, were you at this location? Were you in those flats when they were evacuated?
Yes, I was. Yeah, I was at home in the flats.
Can you tell me exactly what happened?
Not much really. I was just sitting indoors, and then we heard the marshals letting off the horns that they carry and shouting to evacuate because there was a fire, and just quickly moving everybody out.
So that's the command unit, which is now leaving. So what you're saying, about an hour ago, the fire marshals, they were blowing their horns and they said it's time to leave. So you were in your flat. What then, you know, when you heard the alarm being raised, what was going through your mind?
Just to get out, really. Just quickly get the kids, get shoes on and get down the stairs and get out.
So you got out, you got the kids, got the shoes on. What was going through your mind as you left the building, rushing to get out?
Probably there was a false alarm. That's probably my first fault, because that does happen sometimes. And hopefully that it wasn't a fire and that everyone was okay.
But when you were told to leave, was there anything you can smell, see or hear that gave you the impression it was a genuine fire?
Nothing, actually. Nothing at all. No, just the marshals.
So the marshals ushered you out. You came down here with your family and you're now in front of Edmonton Green.
Yep.
How long before the fire brigade arrived?
They were already there by the time we got down the stairs.
And how many were there?
Do you know what? I don't know. There were at least 2 fire engines that I saw, and then the rest arrived.
All right then, because I actually live in the local area. I was actually in Edmonton Green shopping, buying my meat. I saw 10 fire engines out here. I rushed home, got my camera, and I'm back. But have you been told exactly what did occur here?
No. Only another passerby said that they heard that there was a fire on the 4th floor in one of the flats, but that was it. Nothing official from anybody else.
But have you seen or smelled any evidence that there was a fire in the block of flats that you live in?
Nothing at all. No, not inside or outside. No evidence at all.
So what's it like for you sitting here with your family, chilling out, relaxing, and the fire brigade? I've literally locked the whole of Edmonton down and your block of flats have been evacuated. Have you got no concerns at this moment in time?
Oh yeah, so I'm scared, obviously. I'm like scared if there was a fire, is it going to spread? Am I going to lose everything? Where am I going to go? Everything starts, rushes through your mind. What's going to happen next?
But after Grenfell fire, and we have all seen those horrific images and we know the outcome. Does it not concern you or scare you, especially when you see all of this tarpaulin and all of this building going on here in Edmonton? Yep,
it is really frightening. It's really actually quite frightening. I'm always on alert just in case, listening for the horns just in case anything does happen. It's frightening living in any kind of block of flats, I think, after Grenfell, and like you say, particularly with the works that are going on, which are to make the building safer actually for fire. It is a concern that we're covered in all this scaffolding, but obviously the guys are doing a great job. The marshals were really quick off the mark, got everybody out immediately. The fire brigades are obviously marvellous, got in immediately, so that is reassuring.
So you feel great that the best fire brigade in the world, London Fire Brigade, was able to come down here and evacuate you guys and your family, and everything appears to be okay.
Yes, I am grateful that even though obviously it's terrifying living in a block of flats and if there's a fire what's going to happen, I am very grateful that I live just around the corner from a fire station and I know how quick these guys are to get out to check things out.
The fire station is so close down Church Street, you can run there in 2 minutes.
Yeah, literally.
No, as I said, I live in the local area, so I know here. You know, when I saw what was going on, I haven't seen so many fire engines for a long time, and I can smell there was burning.
Yeah.
So I had to go home, get my camera and return. But thank you very much for allowing me to interview you and for giving me this insight into how it's affected you.
No problem at all.
And does any of your family want to come and chat to StreetMic?
Do you want to come and have a chat?
Come, don't be scared. Since when you're scared when you're always on TikTok? True or not?
Yeah, I imagine so.
Come.
Bless them, they don't live here.
Come, I want to hear what it was like for you to hear the marshals. But I want to get the fire engines in the background. So if you come round. Come closer. And stay there. Who's the biggest talker?
Lucy.
Hey, why don't you hold that? Hold that. So you're getting a good microphone now as well. So great you are. Say something. See, I'm not getting no sound there. Why not? Have I switched that one on? Let me check if I switched it on. Say hi again. I'm not picking nothing up there. It's just me. In a couple of seconds. Say hi again.
Hi.
See, that's better. See. So if you look in the camera, I'm currently live streaming, so good afternoon all. So can you tell me your names? Who wants to start first? What's your name?
Lucy.
Lucy. Hi, Lucy. And what's your name, sir?
Alex.
So Lucy and Alex, who wants to go first? Lucy! So Alex, you live in a block of flats behind me, yeah?
Our auntie does.
Oh, your auntie does? Oh, I didn't aunt. So you was visiting auntie today, yeah? Was you in the flat when the marshal said to evacuate?
Yeah.
What was that like for you, Alex?
It was kind of scary, but we kind of had to leave and just go.
So did you think it was real when they said to you to leave the building or whatever what exactly did they say?
They said like everyone leave the building now, I think.
So you wasn't scared, no?
No, not really.
Do you think Lucy was scared?
No.
Lucy, you wasn't scared, no?
A tiny bit. A little bit, because I didn't really know what was happening at the moment.
All right. So describe to me when you discovered you had to leave your auntie's flat. What was going through your mind as you picked up your little brother, I'm assuming, and left the building and come here? You know, what were you thinking? What was going through your mind?
Well, I was trying to make sure nothing happened to any of us and that we got out as quick as we could. So, mainly that none of us got hurt and just that we got out safely. So this was an adventure for you today. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Adam, Alex and Lucy. And I can see you can't wait to get back in the flat, but who knows how long you're going to be out there. But I'm surprised that no one has come to update you. That's the concerning part. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thanks a lot, yeah. Thanks a lot. Hey, thanks a lot, yeah. So as we can see, everything So good afternoon all, my name is Wendell Daniel and welcome to StreetMic, and we're coming to you live and direct from Edmonton Green. And this, for those of you who know me, this is my manor. And what happened was earlier on, about an hour and a half ago, I was actually out shopping in the Green when I saw 10 fire engines here. And let me move, because now it seems like they're going to be opening back up the road after about an hour and a half where it has been shut down. And what I've been told is that the fire marshals who have been patrolling this building, they actually, and there's the London Fire Brigade now reopening the road here at Edmonton Green. But what one of the residents from this building has said is that a fire marshal asked them to evacuate the building, and they did so as quickly as possible. This was about an hour and a half ago, and since then this whole road down here at Edmonton Green has been locked down. And it seems like it has been claimed that there was a fire in one of the buildings, one of the flats. They believe it was the 4th floor, and that was safely put out and it's under control. And now I don't know if people are being allowed back in to the building, but traffic is now beginning to flow here in Edmonton Green for the first time in an hour and a half, and it looks like all of the activities is coming to an end. And the great thing is that I was able to see and witness, and I was able to rush home and then go live. But it now looks like Edmonton, 4th Street Edmonton is open back up for business. That means StreetMic can now go home and start what I should have started about an hour and a half ago, an hour ago, and that was doing some cooking. So I was actually in the process of starting some cooking, so I was actually out. Hence the reason I ran in, I saw what was going on. So I'm now going to go over the road and actually try and find out a bit more about what happened. So I'm actually going to go outside of the flats. So we're currently outside of the flats now, but we're actually going to go where the main So this is where the event took place, Metven Court here in Edmonton Green, and it looks like the building has now reopened. So this is the Broadway here in Edmonton Green, and the road has just been reopened, and as I stand here we can actually smell smoke, so we can clearly smell where there was a fire, and it was, here's some of the fire officers, they're doing their last bit, so people are now being allowed back into the flats. The fire brigade are now stepping down, and very soon I will also be So it looks like all the fun is over, and I'm now going to be making my way home. So we are So we're now locking down. There's the 279 bus.
Thank you.